Hello, and welcome to another video. In this video, we're playing some Annihilation Marauder. Going into it, we're playing in Arena. We're running Spiteful Saber, normal loadout, 5% accuracy, 1.4 GCD, and about 4,800 crit. We're running the generic Berserker implant, and I believe the 10% damage for melee. We could definitely run something different just to make use of Arena a little bit better, but for the most part I wasn't really expecting like much competition, if at all, because I don't think Arena is competitive, and that's why I don't really post Arena videos. So getting into this match, to explain this real quick, this happens to be a 3v4, so this is something that's been a problem for a very long time. There's been heals versus no heals, tanks versus no tanks, sometimes like even especially in casual Arena where it's not ranked. There's sometimes multiple tanks or sometimes multiple heals versus, you know, none, or there'll be a tank versus 2 heals, which I had just the other day. In general, matchmaking is terrible. For casual Arena, it's even worse. I don't want to get into solo ranked, but there was a lot of problems that happen in solo ranked that are obviously going to stem and bleed into regular Arena, just more so as casual Arena. So getting into this match, we see that there's 2 mercenaries. We probably assume that this Vanguard's not going to do much, and we decide to go for the mercenary because he has only 2 buffs, and chances are he's probably not going to handle his DCDs very well. Also, Annihilation is pretty good at just hitting into mercenary as a whole, because we're mostly doing dot damage, and slash is just a sustained damage ability, so we're just sitting there spamming that, retaking our dots, which retakes our heals, so our healing is more valuable. So basically our sustained DPS, whoever we can actually sustain DPS on, which, you know, probably this mercenary, will get more value out of our healing. So here we will show the damage and healing and effective healing. So for example, I effectively did 10,000 HPS in this match. That does include my percent healing, it does include obviously annihilation healing, it also includes blood ward healing, excuse me. And then whatever healing I do to my allies, so that is something to keep in mind. It's not like I'm doing like perfect healing or anything like that, it's just that, you know, we're not full HP, I'm getting heal ticks on everybody else, but I'm also getting heal ticks on myself. And immediately going into this match, obviously this mercenary is already complaining because I used Electro Grenade. Obviously I want to use everything I have in my arsenal just because, well, no pun intended, of course, just to survive. Because they netted me early, that means I can play aggressively. I don't have to worry about my cloak. Chances are I'm going to kill them before like there's even an issue, which is, you know, what happened. I took almost 800k damage. That's pretty much where, if I'm taking a lot of burst damage, that's pretty much where it ends. If the damage is a little bit more slower, I can get a lot more healing, so therefore I can take like over 1 million easily. Had they not played bad and double netted me in the beginning, I would have stuffed out and healed, and I would have easily taken way more. Typically this match ends up being lost because they make a bad target, but also at the same time they have not a very useful Vanguard, which I feel for them. That's just the way Arena is. It's not competitive. It hasn't been competitive in a long time. And even like in solo ranked, again, I don't really want to talk about that, but you know, it has the same problems, or had the same problems, and a lot of people seem to forget that, but it's not, I don't know, it's not ever going to be perfect, especially not in the casual form. It's going to be arguably worse in the casual form, without people taking it more seriously, or in general there being a tank heal only, or just premades being more common. The premades that you do see are just premades that are just stacking 4 DPS and wanting to stomp basically noobs. There's not really any other reason for them to do it. This is most of the time the competition that you'll ever find. It's going to be a tank kill group, and chances are they're probably not going to win unless it's just like a random pug, or they're just not very good, and even then it's a skill check issue. It's not even like an actual game, which again leads back to the game just not being competitive. This is part of the reason why I just, you know, in particular stay away from arenas. And then obviously if there's tank heal games, I'll definitely play them. I actually played some recently. They were enjoyable, but in general, arenas just, it's just not the same. And I get some shit talk by this mercenary. I don't have any idea why this person wants to attack me, because I play more aggressively, because they both net me in the opener. Had they played smarter and not hit me in the opener, I would have played differently. But I'm going to play aggressively because I don't want to die. I want to do damage. I want to be there for the whole time. I want to be playing the game. I don't want to be laying there dead. So it's really stupid for him to say anything at all. And obviously you see that 3 different golds on this character. I could care less about that, obviously, but it just seems so out of touch. People will shit talk just because. I hate that.